Moving into how we handle cases of either or, that is one thing or another happening, we need to first define an idea called mutual exclusivity, which is also called disjointness. That is, events are mutually exclusive when they are disjoint. They have the same meaning, except disjoint has fewer syllables, but we don't usually use that notation in this book. I still wanted to mention it because it's faster and it's what I prefer to say. Anyway, when we're looking at mutually exclusive events, we are looking at things that cannot happen at the same time. For a very simple example to understand how this works, suppose that you get to campus early one morning before your first class and you have time to pick up breakfast. But you haven't gotten to recharge your card yet and you've only got $5 on you, where you can only afford to get just one thing. Either that would be one bagel from Einstein's, one wrap from one of the other places we have in there, or maybe a sandwich from Chick-fil-A, or you could decide that you want to wait until lunch anyway and you don't like to eat early in the morning. It's better for your diet. You're an intermittent faster. Whatever it is you're doing there, you only got $5 no matter what. So whether you want to get breakfast or lunch and where you want to get it from, you can't do any of those options together. You either get the bagel, you get the sandwich, you get the wrap, wait till lunch, but you're only going to get to do one because you've only got the $5. So we call those events mutually exclusive or disjoint because there's only one possibility out of them that can happen. They cannot happen simultaneously. Where this is an important thing to understand here because it defines the ways probabilities work together in terms of either or if you have overlap, thinking back to our set ideas. Again, this is all Boolean algebra, so it still works in exactly the same way like I said it would way back then. But before we get into the exact numerical notational ideas, let's just get one more pair of examples here to better understand how this concept works. For this, we want to determine whether the events are mutually exclusive with explanation, where for the first case, event A is rolling a 3 on a die, and event B is rolling a 4, while for the second case, event A is randomly selecting a male student, and event B is randomly selecting a nursing major. So, dealing with that first case, we should, again, be careful to understand when we say a die, we're assuming fair, standard, six-sided. That's generally what happens. If we have more sides, I will tell you specifically what we're dealing with. Because, you can get die of various shapes, sizes, dimensions, and numbers of sides, thinking to some of our geometric ideas from earlier. But, anyway, for that first one there, we have that because you can't roll a 3 and a 4 at the same time, there is no 3-4 on a die, these events would be disjoint because they cannot happen at the same time. You either have a 3 or you have a 4. They are completely separate things, and thus we call them disjoint or mutually exclusive. For our second case, what we should understand here is that even though, demographically speaking, the vast majority of nursing students are women, we can have male nurses. It's something of a hurtful stereotype there that they're uncommon or they're less masculine in some way.
I'm dating a nurse.
But male nurses do exist. So, when we're looking at these events, we can select a male student who is also a nursing student. That is, we can get both at the same time. So, these events are, again, to save some notation here, not disjoint. That is, not mutually exclusive. Where, unfortunately, we don't have a nicer notation for saying something is not disjoint. We kind of have to use double negative language here to say it's either not disjoint or not mutually exclusive. We don't say joint or mutually inclusive because that would sort of imply that they have to go together when the idea here is they might, but they're not guaranteed to. It's a whole bunch of things there that mainly we just save ourselves by being a little bit uncertain in our language by saying not disjoint, not mutually exclusive. Anyway, now that we have a better understanding, hopefully, of what mutual exclusivity refers to, let's see how it actually works together, how it influences our values in terms of what we call the addition rule for when we're dealing with cases of either or.